The Ayyubid Sultanate sat, pondering his next move. The extent of his success overwhelmed him. He knew a rainy day was ahead, yet still carried with him great momentum. Was he to push, continue and pray that his efforts continue to reward him? Or does he draw the line here? The people of Jerusalem will be removed, of course. But where next? Could he really betray his own allies, the Seljuks? A chief advisor to the Seljuks arrived. "My great Sultan," he began, "I regret to say this, as you know, but a curse runs along your bloodline. You are dying, and both of your sons carry the same sickness. If the worst was to come, your death was to strike today, and then your heir will be just as sick, and then his heir also carries the same burden. My great Sultan, you must, I implore, select another heir, one who does not carry such dreadful diseases. Let it be outside of your bloodline, if you will." The Seljuk Sultan listened, but ignored. He replied with a firm no. He and both his sons were nearing death, due to a curse, was what the doctors named it. Meanwhile, the Ayyubid Sultan struck and seized Banyas and then Damascus. The Seljuks, overwhelmed with success, set up forces in Krakdashevle, ready to strike from the Ayyubids if the order came. Both Islamic nations experienced wild success, and both were ready to make the next move, but also both regretted the thought of fighting their own brothers. It was to be a tough decision on both sides. The Ayyubid armies were ordered to cut off the Seljuks, and they stopped them from being able to take any lands from Jerusalem. The king of Jerusalem was then killed in battle, and the remnants of his people separated. There was nothing to unify them. It was civil war that truly finished the kingdom of Jerusalem. The Ayyubid pirates who had raided Byzantine territory now rested on their conquered territories. They had done what was asked for them, and now they can live in peace. The Ayyubid Sultanate then sent 2 real armies and landed them on the shores of Turkey, and instantly put some minor independent nations under siege. That night, the Seljuk Sultan passed away. His sickness had finally brought him down. His eldest son took the position, but was extremely weak and also near death. A day of mourning was ordered across Seljuk territory. No work was to be done, including military. The Ayyubid Sultan saw his chance and immediately declared war on the Seljuks. Whilst mourning, they were cut down, slaughtered, and given no chance to fight back. Homs and Antioch fell on that first day. The news of what had happened reached Krakdashevle and Aleppo first, allowing them to set up their defences and halt the Ayyubids before either of their fortresses could fall. Angered by the betrayal, the Seljuks then sent their troops out of the fortress to attack the Ayyubid Empire on the field, blood-hungry. Their anger rallied them and allowed them to hold their ground, but strength was nothing when hit by a heavy rain of arrows, especially when fired from the Ayyubid Empire. Their arrow tips were the sharpest and could pierce anything. It was yet another slaughter. The fortress of Krakdashevle and Aleppo were now unguarded, and so the Ayyubid Empire seized those. Just like that, in just a few weeks, the Seljuks had lost the majority of their army. The Byzantines then saw their chance and also struck. They pushed for Laodicea. The Seljuks had lost their entire army, a third of their territory, and all access to the coast. The Ayyubid Sultan was not done there. He had betrayed his closest friends, his brothers. He had to make the most of this betrayal for him to be able to justify it. All or nothing. Edessa fell and the Ayyubids stormed ahead, putting everything at risk. The invasion was swift, clean and with few casualties. Miles after miles of land was captured. As the old rumours foretold, the Venetian Crusaders arrived. The Byzantine Emperor, not willing to hear any form of negotiation, immediately charged the Venetians and slaughtered them all. He had been ready for this. Everything had been planned. His massive armies encircled them into a valley and cut them all down. Once the Venetian king died, the crusade was over. The troops broke apart and scattered across the fields. The Byzantine Emperor ordered his troops to go on the hunt, ensuring that nothing like this would ever be attempted again. There was another death in the Seljuk royal line. They had lost another sultan to the same sickness. The new sultan decided that his nation was cursed. He ordered his troops to mirror Antioch and to find a new, safe homeland in the mountains. They abandoned everything in this retreat. The Ayyubid Empire continued its push. The betrayal paid off well. Mosul, Iconium, Baghdad, all fell to the Ayyubid Sultanate. The Middle East now came down to just two great empires, the Ayyubid Empire and the Byzantine Empire. The Ayyubid Sultan knew that he could not stop now. Byzantium had pulled all troops from Europe onto the front line. Masses of armies were arriving on the Ayyubids' doorstep. Their Sultan quickly marched his army out of Baghdad and force marched them yet again across the desert to reach the new front line. They would sustain a large amount of attrition on their journey. The Byzantine Emperor looked at the map of the east. All is not lost, he said. His armies swarmed on the borders. He knew he had to be quick, to strike now whilst he held the advantage. Would he be able to reclaim his former Roman territory? Or was the gamble to cost him everything? Could the Ayyubid Sultan make it back to the front line on time, before the Byzantines could seize the valuable provinces of the Holy Land? Only one will survive. All or nothing.